Right. So Colombia is on fire, right? So what is going on in Colombia that it's on fire in this nation? Well, let's be honest here. For the most part, this is just Bogota, right? Just to start with, right? Bogota is always on fire. Just kind of is what it is. It's a terrible place to live, and I don't think human beings should be forced to live there. But we'll explain what's going on in Colombia because I feel like if AP wants to know, Tom Pease is going to explain it to him. So let's start with this. All right, so President, I'm going to call him Doku, right? Duku, right? President Duku is pushing for about $6 billion in tax increases to balance the budget and in part to pay for emergency food handouts and other social programs put in place since the start of the pandemic. To do so, he wants to expand the base of contributors, eliminate exemptions, and extend the value-added tax of utilities and some basic foods like eggs. But Colombia's economy is still recovering from a record 6.8% contraction last year, and it continues to struggle with formal sector unemployment above 14%. So, okay, here's why that happened. Because Moody's and other places like the World Bank and IMF decided to downgrade Colombia's credit rating, right? And when they did so, they demanded that, Moody, if they want to continue to borrow money to be able to pay for things like the Corona-19 pandemic assistance that they've been trying to put out to all the people, they demanded that they make some tax reforms in order to do so. Okay. Now, this here is the GDP chart for Colombia. You notice there was a 14.8% contraction in GDP last year. It wasn't 4% or 5 or 6%. It was actually 14%. They are growing by, 9 and 6% in the next couple of months, right? In the first couple months of this year. But, they still got a long way to go before they get recovered. Their national debt is $159 billion. That's not their currency. That's ours, right? It's $160 billion. Okay, so there's 50.34 million people in Colombia. 81.1% of that population lives inside of a city. Their average per capita income is $15,150, right? You know what I'm saying? That's 2019, so that's before the pandemic, right? This is their unemployment rate, right? Unemployment hit 21%, 19, 20%, 16, 15, 14, 13, 13, 17, 15, 14, right? So they're recovering, but it's not a very good recovery for them. We're going to have to get into this when we start talking about places like Colombia, right? Their actual fertility rate is 1.8 kids per woman. This is their, population chart, right? This is their population pyramid, right? A lot of individuals, don't know a whole lot about population pyramids, but that little part is an issue, okay? The midsection there with the bulge in it, that's a bit of a problem inside of a society. It's great because it means you have lots and lots and lots of workers to throw at things, right? And it's great because they're going to spend lots of money because you notice below that, there's not a lot of kids being born, right? That's a bit of a problem, right? Because so they're going to turn into communist and socialist, right? Because all of them live inside of cities. Remember we said 81% of the population lives in the urban area? Well, you know what I'm saying? These are the individuals who are going to be very educated, right? Number one, because of the fact that they don't have any kids, right? And, they're going to live inside of a city. So they're going to protest and, go to the streets a lot like a bunch of morons, right? And what's the last slide that I had? Oh, that's not even a slide. Yeah, so that's what's going on in Colombia right now. You know what I'm saying? And Colombia is going to be, over the next few years, over the next 3 or 4 decades, they're going to end up turning into a terminal demography. Right? Because up until, about 30 years ago, they were having kids on a regular. And then all of a sudden they stopped having kids. Why is this? Because all the people moved from the countryside into the urban areas. And when you pack people in the urban areas, they stop having kids because they're not out in the countryside farming anymore. And they industrialized. This is what happened in Colombia. Right? So this is a bit of a problem. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, here's another part of this. If you'll notice, it's kind of hard to look at this in this manner, but if you look at it properly, Most of the excess population is female, and so therefore you're going to get a lot of socialist policies and social unrest. When it comes down to it, a lot of feminist measures passed, a lot of garbage. And for a country who, let's be honest here, isn't very modern, you're going to have an issue. Right? Because you don't have the industrial capacity to be able to make the changes that the females want you to make. And you're going to end up having to hand out more money than you're really able to do so. So long term, and this is the problem with, 20, 15, 20, 30-year bonds. Long term, the issue is you're not going to have the individuals, being able to back up your ability to pay those taxes to do so. And, well, we are where we are. So this is why Colombia is on fire, right? I just wanted to put this out here for my boy AP, because he was asking about it earlier on his live stream. So I figured I'd cover it for him. This is exactly what's going on. They tried to stand here and pass tax reforms, right? Because they have to balance $7 billion out of a budget with a population of individuals who are making about $15,000 a year. Yes, there's rich people, you could take it out of their ass, but the bitches, then they're not going to invest their money. And if they don't invest their money, then things don't grow, and then the whole system collapses. It's a pain in the ass. The whole thing's retarded. It is what it is. Look, Tom P's at Pnoid News. There you go. Now you know what's going on in Colombia. Later.